What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the Kevin New Bridge podcast, where we all talk about things all mental health. My name is Kevin Davis. I am a comic book creator, author, entrepreneur, and today's guest is a musician. I've known for about a year or so now. We are officially getting to meet each other for the first time, so please welcome my good friend Casper Alexander. Yo, what's up, man?
What's up, boss man? How you feeling?
I'm pretty good, exhausted, but I'm working. I'm working through it.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, you went down for a second.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we
I'm
go.
excited to talk with you today, man. It's gonna be fun.
Man, it's actually nice to meet you for the first time officially.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember exactly how we connected on social media, but you know the
I
the
I don't
beauty of
remember
social
either.
media. The beauty of social media brings people from
Man,
all over the world together.
well, when I tell you, I've met a lot of people on social media. If you ask me how I met them, I'll say I have no idea. We just clicked, and you just became friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and everything, whatever you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, so I like to call myself a creative entrepreneur. I
I like that.
so I've
I'm gonna start
started
using
out
that.
with, huh?
I'm gonna start using that. Creative
Yeah,
entrepreneur. I'm gonna
creative
start using that.
entrepreneur. Yeah,
Uh,
because
uh,
I'm multifaceted. I started with, just rapping as a kid
oh
and
snap! Okay.
yeah, so then college it turned into doing events from us, like just doing events in general, and I've always been marketing myself, like, and promoting my music since high school. So, you
Hell
kind
yeah.
of
Let's
learn,
go.
yeah, so you kind of learn that, like, okay, well, I gotta learn how to promote and do this, and then I started throwing my own events, and then that turned into me throwing events for other people, and I always was throwing parties. And then after that, it kind of got into the point of clothing. You're doing merch, and now you're selling merch, and so you're doing all these
Uh,
different things. So overall, you're an entrepreneur in the creative worlds. But I found film because of music videos and
heck yeah.
acting, and you're acting in your music video. So everything kind of aligned together, and so I kind of mix myself in the arts of music, film, events, and branding.
Man, what made you get into music? Like, did you like grow up on, like growing up on music, or did you like just fall into it? Or, like, what's the backstory?
Honestly,
And
so
also, was it also the first thing that you thought about becoming a musician, or was it like something else that you want to
well, my sister will always say that this is what I always wanted to do. She used to she used to call me a nerd, which especially when we were young, that was a bad thing. It's like great to be a nerd these days.
Heck yes, dude. Nerd is awesome.
uh, Shout out to the nerds. But no,
Let's
when I
go.
was like, I want to say, 5 or 6 years old, maybe younger, I was trying to like fix radios and just like trying to do little tech things. And so I was always
Heck
kind of
yeah.
like smart. But the music side kind of came because, my family was always just playing music around. And then, you grow up watching BET, MTV, and all that. And
Ah, oh
um,
yeah, oh
I
yeah.
used to be when I say a nerd, here's the nerdy side that was coming out. I used to
Okay.
watch music videos and I would write down every artist, like who they're signed to, who the music video director was. Like I had all that stuff like written down. I would get
Yo,
CDs back then and have like the credits and know who the like writers were. Like I was a nerd, but I never like reached out to anybody. It was more
right.
just for some reason I just wanted to know. So music really just always been in me. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
is what it is.
Heck yeah, dude. That's freaking amazing. Because when
Yeah.
I was a kid, I used to watch music videos all the freaking time, dude. Literally like 10 o'clock at night, MTV music on the TV. I don't care, like Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5. Heck, even In Sync that popped up randomly. uh,
Funny story about Michael Jackson is that like I remember it's not like I met him or anything, but I just remember when I was a kid and they had that Thriller VHS, and
yes.
I remember
Yeah,
watching that and I was so scared. Like
man.
that was worse than Chucky and Freddy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Bro, you not wrong. Man, my grandmother had to be. Yeah, I think my grandmother, my mom had the VHS and watched it. I was terrified as hell,
It's
especially the
crazy.
ending when Michael Jackson turned into a wolf.
Yes,
And
bro.
I
Like
was like, what the hell is this?
little scary ass.
I was like, dude, man, I've been a huge Michael Jackson fan since forever, man. He's legit my music idol. I don't do music myself, but I just love listening to it. It's just vibing. I don't care if it's like in a different language. If I can vibe to it, dude, I'm lost in my own world.
I respect that. No, definitely.
Especially as a writer myself, I write comics and I write novels and
Mhm.
I actually started writing screenplays.
Nice.
And so, funny thing is, I did not grow up reading comics at all. I didn't start reading comics until 2020 when COVID happened.
Oh wow.
Because I didn't know comics was another medium. Like I knew Marvel and DC from the movies and the TV shows, like animations, but I don't know they were a different form before then.
Uh
And so I found out. I was like, wait, there are different, like there are books too. Like what the heck?
yeah, yeah. I
And
don't I can't say I ever was really big into the comics as much as I am into like the Marvel movies.
yeah,
I looked at a few comics as a kid, but that wasn't really my space. So I definitely understand because
oh
you get
yeah,
into all like the Marvel stuff now, and you're like, oh, I should have, I thought I would have known
yeah,
all this stuff, but nope.
heck yeah, man. And I'm a big fan of Hellboy and other and like Bloodshot. That I didn't even know they were comics either.
Mm,
And so 2020, and I wanted to like do something different, like because I'm a homebody anyway. But
hmm
I got to the stage where I'm like, I don't want to just sit around and watch TV all the time, right? I want to get more to reading, and then I found out about comics, and I fell in love with storytelling,
ah,
and I found out about independent comics. I'm like, what the heck is these independent comics? Then I hear about IDW, Boom Studios, Dark Horse, Image, Black Sands Entertainment. I'm just like, where the hell does these companies come from? Like, what the heck? And then I just started buying them just to like get the feel for what they are because I was curious.
yeah,
And I'm just like, dude, this is the most original creativity I've seen in like forever.
yeah.
And
Comics are
then
cool.
and then I got to the point I was like, I'm tired of Hollywood with all these rehashes and all these reboots. Like there's like it's lack creativity, right? And I'm like, I got to the point I was like, why not need to? Why am I waiting on somebody else to do something I want to do and I can just do it myself?
Right. Exactly.
And so I legit started studying how to make comics and studying how to write a script. So I took like good 2 3 years just to study the craft, to learn what story I want to tell, to learn to hone my I guess to hone my craft of writing. What's my strong suit?
You need to like that. That is right there. I love to hear that because people just
Yeah.
hop in and be like, "I'm ready to. I should be the biggest." Like, no, you should learn your
No,
medium. Learn your
man,
medium is
no.
good.
And I figured, and as I kept studying, I figured out my strong suit is horror and fantasy because that's where I gravitate towards the most.
Mm,
And I've been told I have a crazy imagination, and then I figured out I really do have a crazy imagination with the characters I create.
mm.
And I took time interviewing artists and was like, and like trying to see if I can be a friend with you and also have a working relationship with you. If I can't be a friend with you, I'm not going to work with you long term. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
because I
fair.
want to build a team that I can trust long term,
Hmm.
and there's also a way to budget, and you already know what you get yourself into.
Yeah.
And so I do I take my time with every project I do. And my mother's also a writer too, because she let me read her murder mystery book before she publishes it.
Oh no. So,
And
so like, wait. So
yeah,
that's she's been doing that for a long time.
oh yeah, she has so many stories she's written over the years, and she
Oh, it's
even
into
showed me.
you as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's in you.
yes, yeah, and like she showed me poetry she written for me and my sister when she was writing about how she loves us as her kids, and I was like, what the hell, mom? I'm like, you,
That's
you trying to
cool.
make you trying to make me cry, and shit, really? Like, come
Trying to
on,
make a thug
mom.
cry, man. Come on.
Like, darn it, mom. And it was actually my year in high school when I found out I had a gift in writing. Also, when
Hmm.
we like, and I hated writing with a passion. We had to write essays, and especially getting ready for college and shit. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
well, in my African American history class, we had our first paper, and he graded us from like a level 1 to 5. Whereas like 1, you need a lot of help. A 3 is like you're there, but I want to push you higher to a 5, where it's the professional level. My first paper, he graded me a 3, and told me you have a gift in writing. I just want to push you to a more professional level to get you
Mm.
to that top tier level of writing. And I'm like, I can write. I was like, I was like, me, I can write. And in one lesson, my mom told me, said, the thing you hate the most, you're actually really good at. I was like, damn it, mom, you're freaking right.
Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Man, and 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 growing up, and I dealt with a lot of anger issues, especially being a household full of women. I've been like the only male in my house my entire life, so I dealt with depression, mental health issues, anxiety, and I got into the wrong crowd. I nearly went to jail in middle school.
Oh wow.
I was this close going to jail because I was stealing money from my family, trying to oppress some girl that I didn't really know. Um, I smoked with people that I shouldn't have been around, so I became a little bit of an addict because I just got sucked into that atmosphere of just trying to fit in and just trying to not be alone. Is basically where I was at. Just trying not to be alone, trying to find somewhere I can fit in, and that I was a dumbass. I was that was so I was this close, but by the grace of God, the cop said he was tired of seeing people like us going to jail,
Hmm.
and he just gave me a warning, and he kept watching over me to make sure I got good, and he had his buddy check up on me. He said, "Are you good?" And then after that, I was like, my life changed instantly because I'm like, I'm not finna go down this rabbit hole,
That's awesome. That's
and
that's awesome.
and then came graduation day of middle school. They's like, bro, you got sharpened up. I see. I was like, yeah, because I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I have a future that I want to experience, and like I want to do a difference in the world. I don't want to be like that, the stereotypical type that's on us as black men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely respect that.
And and I know I lost the trust of my family for a good 2 years probably. Or I think I don't even know. It might have been longer than that, but I know I lost it for a good while. It took a while to get that trust back, and that also got me into writing because writing became my therapy to get my thoughts out, get my emotions out, and it really helped a lot, honestly. And that's why I became a big mental health advocate because I know there are a lot of boys, even girls, that's going through like so many emotional things they can't control, and that's why I'm trying to build a platform to like be a friend that they can come to, like just talk to. Like you need somebody to listen to. That's why I like to invite people on this podcast. Like if you just need to talk, you can do you can be on a podcast, talk about whatever. And I just like to be that inspiration for somebody. And could you like tell a story about how you dealt with like mental health, if you like whatever you're comfortable with sharing, like how has music helped you get through your tough times, and what will be like your advice to people whatever they're going through in this day and age?
Yeah, I would say music definitely is my therapy. Creativity is my therapy. I mean, I'm just a creative, and I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was, I want to say like 6 or 7. So I was taking medicine in like grade school, like to like calm down, to be.
Wow.
And I remember my mom took me off of it after a couple years, probably less than that, because she just didn't like. I was pretty much a zombie, you know what I mean? Like all like I wasn't as hyper, but like that hyperness is
Mm,
what kind of got me. I was really smart and got a lot of. I always had good grades, and so I think it didn't take away my intelligence, but what it did take away was like that like curiosity and that runction, what is it, rambunctious.
mhm.
Think that's the word I'm looking for. But
Gotcha.
but
Gotcha.
that it was a good hyper. Like, you know what I mean? I'm moving around, I'm doing stuff, and like nowadays, my ADHD is what keeps makes me such a creative and makes me be able to like go into one lane. And I've been a freelancer for a bit, so that's kind of what that ADHD does for me, is where it's like, yeah, this was fun. I did this for a week. Let me go do this for a week, and then let me go do
Mm-hmm.
this for 2 days. Let me go do this for 8 days, and let me go do this for a whole month. And so the randomness really like makes my brain feel good. For you know what I
Heck
mean.
yeah.
Um,
Heck
but
yeah.
I but I can relate to like having anger problems, and I did definitely have anger issues when I was a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
I was just just dealing with stuff at home more than anything, just trying to figure out how to navigate home. And I grew up in a great household, so it's not like I grew up in a bad way, but we all have our things, right, that we have to still
Yeah.
battle. And so with that, I think I was acting out when I would go to school and just was
Mm-hmm.
doing too much.
Yep.
And I used to get in fights all the time. I think just growing up in a predominantly white school, uh, that put me in places where I've always been talked about, like in a negative way, like not
Mm-hmm.
positive too. I have great friends. I grew up with a lot of good friends, but you still have people who are trying to bully you because you get racist remarks. You get
Right.
I was skinny, so I get made fun for being skinny. My name's Casper, so oh, your name's Casper, but you're black, haha. Like like being a kid, like that's the kid
Man.
jokes that, and I still sometimes people slide that out. I'm like, bro, you are fucking 40 years old trying to use that as a joke. Grow up. Like I love my name now, but you know your name is your identity, and so I
Mm-hmm.
think that uh m- I could say that like that really took a turn on my identity. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I think was the number one thing. It really hurt. Like not wanting to say your name when you're introducing yourself to a group of people is like pretty wild.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have to go through like what are they gonna say about it. And now I'm like, I don't care. I get every now and then I will get a like, dang, I hope they don't say my name in front of everybody because I don't really fuck. But
Yeah.
like, but I really can't say anything because I'm leading a lot of groups of people, so I gotta introduce myself. You know what I mean? So uh, I think that music and sports is what gave me my confidence,
Mm-hmm.
as especially in high school. Once I found, I was playing basketball all the time as a kid, um, and I was making music, like trying to like make music in like grade school. But once I actually put music out, really on a, like social media at that time, like which was MySpace at the time, and then making burnt CDs and giving them to kids at school, and people were like liking it. Oh, I like this. This is really good. Like blah blah blah. Gave me my like confidence, and I was just kind of just having fun, and then basketball was another thing for me as well. And so between sports and music, which is so cliche, I don't want that to really be like the thing, but it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sports are great for kids, and especially when they get to a certain level of like being good is really nice for them. Like, but I do understand also sometimes sports can be kind of hard for someone who's not that good at it because they
Mm-hmm.
don't really get to always see the team effort. Like they don't see the other benefits, like being able to work with a team and like like things like that. So uh I learned a lot from those two mediums. And so now because of the I would say partially because of the success, but also because I've always been able to express myself, and because of having really good friends, uh, those that in a good family and a good mom when able to say things I need to say to my mom, those four things have really helped me be able to uh get over all the nonsense. Because as you said, you got kicked out of school in grade school. Like I got suspended seventh grade like
No,
five
no,
times.
I didn't get
Five.
kicked out of school. I almost went to jail.
Almost went to jail. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I didn't get kicked out. I got like an in-school suspension for like 3 days. I didn't say that part, but I got like in-school suspension for like 3 days. But the vice principal only had me go one day
Uh,
because he told them, he said this kid is not a bad kid. He just having a lot of things going on. and he let me go back to my homeroom after that. Well, he put me in a different homeroom so I wouldn't do the same shit I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a kid who was talking about my mom that I stabbed in the hand with a pencil.
Uh,
So yeah, so I was still angry. I was already angry, and he just made me more angry.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, you
but yeah,
snap. You snap. Uh,
yeah.
So yeah, no, well, like, so that resonates with me. When I was listening to what you were saying, I was like, man, like, the anger issues and just getting in trouble at school and just like I almost went to jail in high school, or no, I went to JDC in high school. Got kicked out of school for fighting, or well, for fighting in grade school. For high school, it was for like the story's kind of crazy, but pretty much I got into it with somebody at school,
Mm.
and it really wasn't me. But so let me paint the picture.
Okay.
So my high school, we kind of had like that old school like hazing type of idea there. We still had that type of
Oh,
stuff for sports,
got it.
and
Okay.
during homecoming, the seniors and the juniors would chase around the freshmen and sophomores around our town. So
Okay.
kids would be going and egging houses, TPing houses, but somebody egged this guy's car.
Oh no.
And so someone said it was me, and it wasn't. But at that time, I was like, man, like 5'4", 5'5", 5'6", maybe somewhere in
Mhm.
that small, like I still small stature. And this dude was like 6'3", like like senior or junior or senior on the basketball team. Like he was a big dude, and so he was trying to fight me. I wasn't finna fight that boy. Like especially at that time, like I got
Mhm.
in fights, but I knew when I was outmatched. You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
wasn't gonna be a good one. And so at that time, we ended up getting in some trouble for we went to homecoming, me and my friend, and we had weapons on us. And so
Oh.
like it's just a knife, nothing crazy. But
Yeah.
that could have went left. But thank God like God works in mysterious ways.
Oh yeah.
So,
Most definitely.
I
Oh
showed
yeah.
somebody that knife and I was like, yeah, dude fuck with me. Yeah, it's over with. I'm not going. Pretty much. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then I
Heck
think
yeah.
I told somebody and somebody told somebody else and it got around and then the cops came. And so I ended up getting in trouble for having a knife on school property and went to JDC and got kicked out of high school. But that a lot of things came out of that because one, I really focused on music and basketball at that time, and
Mhm.
I ended up hitting a growth spurt. Like I think I grew like 5 or 6 inches over the summer, and came back to school, and I was like 6'1" as a junior, and same size as I am
Mhm.
now. And then I was like, a lot. I was making music, and we started putting it out, and it was getting success on social media, and so I never looked at the story like that until like now because of how my life is now.
Mhm.
But really seeing that down is what helped my up because I don't think I would have had so much hunger. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I wouldn't have had so
Oh
much
yeah.
focus.
Heck
Like
yeah.
I was like, because I didn't really have nothing to fight for at the time. I was just in school, maybe just trying to make sure I get good grades because my mom said I got to. I didn't really know any better. I just like that's what my mom said. We gotta do that. I didn't like, but I
Mhm.
always wanted to do music. Music has always been my passion. Um, so it's cool to see that situation made me become who I am today. It's all part of my story. Um, and so nowadays I am really big on gratitude and appreciation. And, I've seen several times throughout my life where I've gotten to a point where I'm like, oh wow, like I'm making it. I'm doing some stuff. I'm almost full time with creativity, and I'm doing this. But then I get cocky. Because that's how I was in high school. Like
Mhm.
that stuff happened where I got really cocky, and I had a really like pretty cocky for a long time. I had confidence as well, but it was just like more of a like I'm untouchable type of vibe.
Ah, I got you. Yeah.
And then you get in some situations and you're like, okay, I'm not untouchable. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
and also, and it's that might not be from humans, right?
Mhm.
It could be from God. And I remember, and the time period I'm thinking of is like was working for three different companies within the music space where I was booking for a venue. I was running a I was the marketing manager for a distribution company within like small business. But I was one of the first people to help artists, indie artists, get on like Spotify, Apple Music, things like that. But like,
Okay.
at least in my world, I don't know what was going on outside the world, but I
Gotcha.
hadn't heard of any of the other spaces, or if I heard of them, you had to pay a certain amount of money, and at that time in my career, I didn't understand that.
Mm,
But we were able to create these platforms to help people pay a low rate, and like it was like a higher rate with what they were offering at the time. So we were beating the rates, and it was cool. And all those things I was touring as well, and all those things was going on, and it's like all crumbled because I was too cocky. I got cocky,
yeah.
and so I
I
understand.
understand that.
Yep. So I understood is what is as quick as it can be given is as quick as it can be
It can be
taken.
taken away. Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
mean that's kind of like the story. Yeah. I haven't really I really never told anybody that getting kicked out of school story on like a podcast or anything. So that was cool to like kind of like express that and really see like this is the good thing about mental health and the good thing about
Mm,
talking with people is like getting in a non-judgmental space where you can it's a safe
mm,
space where you can just say, hey, this is what happened, and like you can see now,
mm.
this is why I am who I am. This is the things that happen. So yeah.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Well, shoot, I've been cocky in my life quite a few times, so
Yeah.
I completely understand. Because I've always thought like I knew everything. I know better than you, or I know more than you when I freaking did whatsoever. And when I look back over my life, every pun intended, if you know that gospel song. Uh,
I don't know if I know that one.
huh?
What song you said?
I said when you hear some when I look back over my life, that gospel song, that line from
Oh,
that
I
gospel.
haven't heard that one. I might have heard it. I just don't know the name.
I forgot the name, but I know that line from the gospel song. Um, I don't regret going through what I went through in middle school. Um, because I feel like if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be a humble man that I am today.
That's
And
fair.
I've been bullied from elementary to high school. And it was high school where I was like, I really don't care what you say to me. It's not going to phase me anymore because I'm used to it.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to give you the reaction that you want from me. You know what I mean? And high school, I was this close to getting into a fight, ninth grade year, high school, because this trifling boy sat in my seat that I pulled under a table,
He
and I
put
politely
sand in your seat.
he sat in my seat as
Oh,
I was
sat.
about to sit. Yeah, as I was
Oh,
about to sit down, he sits in my seat in front of
he
me.
sat in your seat. I thought you said he put
Yeah,
sand in your seat. I said that boy
no,
dumb.
oh no, no,
He
no.
was on your ass.
No, I literally pulled. I was about to sit down. I pulled the seat out. He just gonna sit in my seat, and so I politely pulled the seat back more and had him fall on the floor.
Oh
And
damn.
he got all in my face. I didn't even look at him. I was this close, wanted to punch him, but I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give you what you want. And man, that boy was so freaking cocky, and I was like, I'm not gonna get suspended because you want to be a cocky a hole. And I'm like, and I actually like this school, and I actually would like to graduate on time. Unlike you, I don't have time to play. And and I was raised old school, so my mother did not play at all. So if I got in trouble, she would have whipped my ass, and I was not finna get my tail whooped over some
Yeah.
stupidity of another kid. You know what I mean?
Not know the vibes. Not know the vibes.
And I'm like, when I was a kid, I thought my mom was like, she didn't like let me have fun, or like let me just explore or something. I don't know how to explain it, but she was very strict.
Oh, I get it.
Uh, but as an adult, I look back, I understand why. Because she told me her story, how she grew up and how she went through. And I was like, that's why you are so strict on us because you didn't want us to go down that path. She didn't want us being a part of this society that's built around like especially with the drugs and people getting into fights and just getting kicked out in and out of jail. You know what I mean? And looking back, I was like, now I understand why my mother was the way she was to us.
Yeah,
And hell,
it's
she still lives now as we're grown. She still makes sure we good.
I think it's funny too to think about that because my mom definitely she grew up kind of like in a strict space,
Mhm.
but that is I don't know. Also, I was like the second. I was like a younger. My brother, like that I grew up with, he was double my age, so he was already an adult. So I pretty much was raised as like an only child, and yeah, well, I got pretty complicated. Like growing up's pretty complicated because I was adopted, and there's like a lot of different layers to that.
Oh wow,
But I was raised really well. Like I got blessed with a great foster mom, which is my mom.
very
Anytime I
good,
ever say my mom, that's what I'm talking about. Um,
beautiful.
so, she was raised and she had went through a lot of things. And so, she knew that she didn't want me to go through all the things. And also she wanted me to be street smart. So she kind of let me maneuvering and leave the house a little early. I was off the porch, you know what I'm saying? Like real like when not and it's not a negative way because I know every time somebody I was off the porch, like that's a negative thing. Like I was off the porch, like I was really outside, like I was, but in a positive way as a kid should be. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like I was really getting to go to my friend's house that was like 3 blocks away and like you
Hmm.
can't see me, so I still had those street light rules. But
Hmm.
I'm probably like 9 or 10 going over to my friend's house and being able to go play at his house and then play at their house and then come back. So I was really getting to experience like that freedom, but still having some type of structure. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think that that's a definition of what my life is now as
Hmm.
freedom with structure because you got to still have some type of structure. As a freelancer, I'm able to, and a full time freelancer now. It's been 5 years, and so and these last 2 years have been really amazing to me. But the ability to say, okay, like I got this gig, I got this gig, I got this gig just hitting me up trying to do this and this and that, and it's really
Hmm.
nice. And also, I can say no because hey, I feel comfortable with what I made to be able to
Hmm.
take care of myself and feels, and I just want to rest, and I can just do that because at a 9 to 5, you're there
You're
Monday
there.
to Friday or whatever
Yeah.
situation is set up. But it's not as easy to just say, hey, I don't really feel like coming to work today or
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
can't say, yeah, I'm not trying to work in 2 weeks. I'm not working. Like, yes, you are, or you're not gonna have a job. You might not be working at all. You ain't gonna have no job. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, I look at a lot of things that my mom taught me and showed me that, when it comes to being like going back to like being strict, like it is interesting to see how two people could be raised exactly the same way,
Hmm.
or like, and then they could teach their kids the same or opposite. And it's usually either that. It's like either or. There's no middle, right? Like it's either
Hmm.
like nice freedom or like really strict. You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying? And so I feel like I had nice freedom until I got in trouble.
Hmm.
That's when it would come
Yeah.
out. That's when
Like.
it, that's when you would get that ass whooped, belt the
Oof,
ass for real, really belt the
man.
ass, and then you losing your game, you sitting in a corner, you doing all of it, you going through all the steps, and
Yeah.
it really taught me a lot of. It taught me certain things, consequences. It did teach me that. Um, so I'm blessed to be able to see that. But you know, that's yeah, yeah. That's
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, and even with when my mom like punish me, she's like, life is not gonna be all rainbows and daisies.
Yes.
She's like, I'm teaching you this way because life can hit you hard as hell when you least expect it.
Yeah.
And of course, I took that with a grain of salt. I didn't listen. I was an idiot. But as I got older, I started to understand more and more, and especially when I officially went to college. I didn't. I went to college at home because I went to college online.
Hmm.
I got my associates in human services,
Nice.
my bachelor's in professional studies, and
Okay.
I'm currently working on my master's in business administration.
Nice. Okay. We love that.
And funny thing is, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do when I when I was a kid. Like when people ask you, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I remember when I said, "I want to be like a garbage man or something." I don't know what the hell I said. I don't know. I don't know why. But as I was very nonchalant, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm like, I really didn't. I was like, because I hear people like they want to be a business person, they want to be a doctor, they want to be a musician, they want to be an actor. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I legitimately don't know. And because I was very lost on who God made me to be, and
Mhm.
like, especially like I felt out of place, and I had those certain thoughts that I wanted to end it all, and because I feel like I was purposeless. I was
Oh
like,
man.
why am I here? I was like, why am I even here? And that that was definitely that was a toll. That was a toll on me. I was carrying for a long time until I found out that I'm a full fledged nerd, like you said earlier. Uh,
I think that our world
uh,
now, I mean, I can't speak, obviously, like, we're not in high school or grade school, so we don't know what these kids are
yeah,
really going through if you don't have kids. And even if you
yeah.
do, you can hear what they talk about, but it's just like it's different when you're living it.
Oh
And
yeah.
so
Oh
I
yeah.
think that when kids are mean now, but like I'm sure, but like I feel like kids were really mean in the 90s and 2000s. Those kids were really fucking mean, and then now it's like people are mean, but they're mean behind the screen.
Mhm.
Like, so you dealing with people talking shit about you, they're gonna say it to you, to your face, or you gonna hear about it at lunch.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, or breakfast
Yeah.
when or when you get on the
Or
bus
the playground. Well, even the playground.
or the playground, you gonna hear about it. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
you know, I don't know. I'm sure they're still kind of happening, but at the same time, we my first experience was was probably internet bullying. I never really got. I remember it didn't really affect me because I didn't care. But
Mhm.
I remember my freshman year in college. Uh, I was in school and they end up putting out this like site where you could say things anonymously,
Uh-oh.
and people used to just they would be on there saying some shit, and I was just like, I don't think I don't really be bothering people. I don't think it'd be, but of course somebody's like, oh, he thinks he can rap and blah blah. And there's like one kid who's like, I can out rap him and blah blah blah. And I was like, but anonymous. And so once I found out who it was, like I was just like, whatever. And I wasn't like he was like one of those like kids that wanted to make music and he could actually rap, but he really to me wasn't good at like making like music. He could
Mhm.
rap. You know what I mean? You know the difference. And
Yeah.
so I think that we ended up going and like I don't freestyle like that. At that time I would freestyle for fun at a party, but I wasn't like
Yeah.
I'm a freestyle battler. You know what I'm saying? Like I can
Yeah.
freestyle and have fun,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like I'm trying to battle you. And that's what
Mhm.
he was trying to do. And then I showed up and blah blah. But that was like probably in it, and I definitely didn't win. I don't think. I think he did it. I don't think I even said anything. I don't remember how it went,
Okay.
but I know I didn't win. I know that. And so in his mind, he was right where he felt like he could out rap me. But like, I do also feel like there's levels to it
Mhm.
because you could out freestyle me, but I didn't feel like he could outright me or make a song better than me.
Yeah.
So there's levels
Yeah.
of this. There's levels of this, and
That's
he
that's
can,
that's always levels to everything
and if you
in the industry.
and I feel like nowadays it's easy for people to say that they're better than somebody at anything,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
like if we're not when it comes to something like sports, you say you better than me in basketball, I mean beat me there. Beat me one on
Exactly.
one. But you can prove that. But
Yep.
like if you say you're better than somebody at music, you really don't have a lot of proof besides like fans voting or saying that was better. And it's all opinion.
Mhm.
And so, there's gonna be people out there that's gonna take one side and be like, bro, this is the best rapper ever, and this rapper sells maybe 50,000 units a year, and then it's like he can out rap, blah blah blah, and then this person's selling, you know, 10 million all the time, like every year, 10 million an album. You know what I mean? And so you're like, well,
Mhm.
but I still don't think he's better rapper than this person. Yeah, but like, so what proof is there? Like at the end of the day, in our capitalistic world, numbers matter in that realm, because like if you're doing what you love to do and it makes you happy, dope. Like that's what the striving is. But if you're able to do what you love to do and do it as a job and make money, I feel like that person is, if we're gonna do better or worse, I feel like that person is more than likely better at what, if we're comparing some type of something. You know what I mean? I don't think you're a better
Mhm.
person or a worse person, but I'm saying if I was to compare two rappers, I would say you could say Soulja Boy can't necessarily rap, but that he's a better rapper than me because he definitely
Mhm.
found his way to do what he's supposed to do,
Mhm.
and he's making great money off of it. And he may not be, a million billionaire off of rap, but like he's able to go do what he loves to do. I don't know the man personally, but you know what I'm saying? I bet that if anything with any human, if they're unhappy and they're doing what they love to do, they're unhappy because they're probably lost in comparison.
Hmm. That, that,
Because I think that I feel as if you get to do what you love to do and make money from it, and you don't have the worries of like, when's my next meal, where am I laying my head, and that's solved by what you love to do.
mhm.
What else can we get out of life outside of like having a loving family? Love
Mhm.
family, God, family, and your hobbies. If those are your three
Heck
things
yeah.
that's got you together,
Mhm.
that's keeping you sane, and then what can you do? So
Heck yeah.
I'm definitely like looking at things that in that nature now, where I'm not saying I'm a Christian. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is I believe in something higher than me. There's something. It shows me almost every day that
Mhm.
my faith in what I believe in with myself, my gratitude that I have for what everything that I've been given and not given, or when it was given or taken, I'm grateful for it still, because I found my lesson. And so, because of that, I definitely can see the fruits of that labor coming. Um, I might think we could have a conversation right now, and I feel like at this point, if I say some stuff like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna focus on this a little bit more," probably
Mhm.
before 30 minutes before we get off the call, or when we get off the call, 30 minutes after, or while we're on the call, something's gonna come in my inbox. Some kind of
Mhm.
call is gonna come through, and it's gonna be like, "Yo," and it's gonna point me in that direction
Mhm.
because I don't know, it's been happening consistently. Like I got recently signed to an acting agency, and
I saw that on Instagram. You posted on
yeah,
Instagram, I believe. I
yeah,
wanted to talk to you about that. Congratulations,
I
dude.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. So it's
Man,
funny.
that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's a blessing
Um, I
because
would love to learn like how you feel about that. Like, dude, tell us more about that. That's a big accomplishment, man.
yeah, I think that um so let's start with the story, right? So my homie Tone, me and him, he's one of my business partners, and we get on the phone pretty often and just start talking about whatever. And he's had a pretty similar experience in the entertainment industry as I do. And so we're always going back and forth. And I told him, I'm like, man, I've been throwing events for people and shows for people, and I'm kind of getting to the point where I like people aren't grateful for it. They act like I'm supposed to do that for them, and I'm
Right.
starting to feel a certain way. And then also, it's about to be the winter time. I work in events, and these events are going to start slowing down. So I was like,
Mhm.
I think I'm about to start focusing more on acting. And he's like, hell yeah, do your shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
We got off the phone, and I had already had a meeting that day. I had a meeting to I had applied for something, to model for like this furniture company. And so when I got that call, I was like, we were supposed to just talk about that. I was just learning like what's all going on. Did I get the gig? Where are we at in the space? Come to
Mhm.
find out, it was actually the agency who was like handling the booking had actually was like, I really like your look. I really like what you do. We want to sign you. And I was like, what? Like what? Like I wasn't
Dude.
expecting that in the call, so it just was like holy shit, like this is crazy. And I'm talking like, I just said I want to focus on it more and boom. God came and said, and my guardians, they
Uh,
was there. They said, look, that's what you want to do here. We're gonna give it to you, and we're gonna give it to you in a way that I've been trying to find an agent for the last 2.5, 3 years. I had
mhm,
applied for a couple agencies and I didn't get it. And I,
mhm,
I I didn't get deterred or anything. I just understood why I didn't get it, so I wouldn't focus
mhm,
more, and I improved on
mhm.
some of the things. And I've
I
had it in
love
my notes.
I love that so much because when people when people don't understand when you get rejected, it's not a failure. It's just a redirection. That's how I take it.
Yes,
Because
yes,
and it's like timing is everything. It's just not your time yet. If you get rejected, don't get discouraged. It's okay. It's just a redirection that you have to go through to get to that level for you
yeah,
to be prepared to get that like agency or get that representation.
yes,
I had to learn that for myself because I haven't started looking at agencies just yet because I want to build my platform first, like by
yeah.
myself for a minute, and like get my head in the game so I know what I'm prepared for.
Hmm.
And because I've been an introvert all my life, so I'm finding my voice now and putting myself out there because I want to be inspirational. I want to be able to touch people and I have to get out my comfort zone to do that. So that's why I
Yeah,
started doing this. I started doing comics. I started doing. That's why I created my own business because I want to be able to help others get out there too. Because as an introvert, it's very hard, and as you can tell, my voice is very low. Because my voice is naturally low because I'm so chill back like that,
right.
and that's why I'm like I want to build a platform for for from the scratch by myself so I can know how it feels to build something before I try to look for representation or an agency or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. So it's like I was looking at things in that matter. I was like, okay, I wasn't ready yet. And I'm not even saying I'm 100% ready now. It was very unexpected, but like I feel good. I knew I think that I feel as if it was the timing is right.
Heck
And
yeah.
I've been doing my own things. I've been creating for over 15 years and representing myself for over 15 years, and my resume is amazing for the shows that I've gotten to open up for, to the shows that I've got, the TV shows that I've gotten to be on, to the people I've gotten to meet, and the brands I've gotten to work with. Like, just representing myself and just reaching out and finding ways to finding these things and doing the research myself. And, the fruits of my labor come back. And
Heck
so,
yeah.
so now, you know, now that I have this opportunity in front of me,
Mhm.
the future is big, and I feel
Oh
really
yeah.
good about it. But I'm already I was already I think I was already in a content space prior to
Mhm.
this. So, I think, well, like I said, I keep saying, but like once you're grateful for what you have, you will get more.
Mhm.
Because why I always tell people, I'm like, if you have, let's say something like, if you have a one bedroom apartment and no car, and but you can get to work, but like someone says, hey man, you don't have a car, that's okay, I'm not really worried about it, I'm grateful for what I have, and you really mean that and feel that,
Heck yeah.
then you're going to get more when it's your time. And more doesn't have to be material, because riches are
Mhm.
beyond that. And
Heck
so
yeah.
if I'm okay with being wherever I'm at in life, because I'm not gonna be, nothing's ever gonna be perfect, and I just have a contentment where like like I'm really happy about being able to be a creative in these so many different routes, and no one can put me in a box, and I can wake up tomorrow morning and say I'm finna post this and do this if I want to, and I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it. You know what I
Heck
mean?
yeah.
I
Heck
don't
yeah.
have any. I don't have nothing. I have nothing that makes me want to stop when I want to go do something. If I feel like
Mhm.
I want to go create it, I'm gonna make it. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
that. No, I don't have that fear. You know what I mean? And so having
Heck
no
yeah.
fear, having gratitude, just and having a little bit of talent. You know what I'm saying? So a little talent or whatever. But you know, man, having that, having all those things, and then getting a chance for someone else to like do the things for you. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, I get to sit back, like I can finally just like
Chill out
here
for a
I
little
am
bit. Yeah.
every Monday, almost every Monday, and I give y'all like, I'll give you a little like tidbit or whatever myself, but like every Monday I would wake up and I would look up like everything I could find for gigs and apply, and set it and forget it. And some stuff would come back, and it got to 2 years ago when I started doing that. And I was doing that with shows and stuff. I was always doing it in a certain way, but it was like with show and concerts, it was like, okay, I want to
Mhm.
go on tour, so we're focusing. But it was like,
Mhm.
but now it was like, this is how I make my money. I need to find clients. I need to find
Mhm.
this. I need to find that. So I always have to be doing it. So on Mondays, I would go hard and then set it and forget it. And then boom, 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 and there's other companies and brands and people that I'll start building with. And now, I got to a point where my phone just I might get a text and say, "Hey, do you want to come do this? Hey, do you want to come do that?" And if I already got my month planned out and I didn't have nothing going on that day, boom, I can add it. Or I can make a text and say, instead of me having to go look online and email anybody, I can text people and just be like, "Yo, you got anything going on Saturday that needs some help, or you need this?" And they have the budget and they have the money. And coming from a space where I'm trying to be a DIY person and I offer my services, most people don't have the money. And I respect it because I understand, like, I'm not rich or anything. Like, even with me throwing my own events, I still have to go find funding and I have to make
Mhm.
money. I don't have the money to do all the things like that, but I like what I'm doing. And so I find collaboration, I find sponsors, and
Mhm.
when they don't so I understand not having something. And uh I was thinking about this the other day about, or actually today, about how if you have a certain price and you tell me it, if I can't afford it, I just can't afford it. And I'll be like, "Yo, okay, that's a little bit out of my range. Like, can you come down? Are you open?" And if they say no, then cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you for having a conversation. Move on. Get the money when you want to work with them. Get the money when you got it and work with them. Don't make them
Mhm.
devalue who they are. And
Exactly.
also, you can't get mad as a person who is making money or who is charging for a service. Someone else is doing it for free. You can't get mad because there's somebody that's going to probably just the same person that offered you to like try to get your thing and they couldn't afford it. They're gonna go find someone to do it. Someone's gonna do it.
Mhm.
They're gonna find somebody to do it for free. And so but you can't get mad about that. It's like it is what it is. Be smart. If you chose them prices, be firm on that. But
Mhm.
you can't get mad at a client or a customer, or potential customer client for not rocking with your prices, just as they can't get mad for you having your prices.
Exactly. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, but
Like
this
that's
it's working in this industry, especially in the music industry, and especially in rap, man. People don't respect. They don't have that level of respect. I think that I saw like I'm really saw someone something the other day about like it would be cool. It like the reason why the music industry is the way it is because you're not required to have any type of like degree. You need to have prerequisites before you could even begin it. Because when you think about it, to be a doctor, you gotta go to school for some time. And I'm not
oh
saying
yeah.
music is on the same level as a doctor, but
Mhm.
you can run a business without a degree, right? That's fine too.
True.
But also
I
like
started my business before I got my degree. So yeah.
right, you can still run a business without a degree. But
Yeah.
I do also understand that it's gonna be a little bit harder because you don't know anything about business.
Mhm.
So that's what school is teaching you, or you need to have mentors who can teach you, or you need to spend money on consultants. You need to spend money on people around you that's gonna help you build. Or if you're not gonna be the one to go to school, find people who are in school that want to build something and help. And there's levels to all of this. Nothing's stopping us anymore. If you ain't
Because
doing shit with your life, you chose that.
yeah, because the way I started, I actually have mentors before I went to before I got my degree. That's how I got figure out business.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess that's kind
Because
of harsh to say. Like, it's a
uh,
little harsh to say when I'm like, if you ain't, if you ain't doing shit, it's your fault. But like, there are
it's not hard. It's
circumstances.
not harsh, but it's simply the truth.
Yeah, it's
It's really the
like
truth.
there is outliers. There is situations where it's like you can't do anything about it.
Hmm.
But like you have
Exactly.
so many choices in life, and you can choose now. And as much as we know we live in a fucked up racist world and this and that and that, but that's
So
not
sad.
stopping us. You
Nope.
cannot use that as an excuse anymore.
Nope.
You can't use that as the white man holding me. No, he's not.
I was
You
like,
literally can
dude, they
build business. You can build something in the black community and do it in your community and make plenty of money. You can
literally
make
look
plenty
at
of,
Tyler Perry for God's sakes.
yeah, you just gotta go do it though. That's the thing,
I
and
mean,
you gotta
look at
be
50
okay with
Cent.
failing. You gotta be okay with failure. You
Hell yeah.
failure gotta be your best friend, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But you gotta love them from the distance too. That's your failure is
Yeah.
your best friend that you love from the distance
Oh
because
yeah.
you want to have love for that person, and you're gonna that person's gonna be around. That failure is gonna be around, and failure can be good for you, but you gotta still keep them distance because you don't need to have 'em all the way around. You don't want all the way,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
having love for failure to me is like I love that. I don't want to fail, but I have an acceptance and love for failure where it's like, damn, okay, all right, okay, I'm ready to learn. Okay,
Mhm.
that didn't work out. Okay, bet. I bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I might not be framing it exactly how I want to frame it because I never thought about it until just now, but
Mhm.
there's something there. I
Mhm.
want when I figure out how to frame that, there's something
Mhm.
there with making failure your best friend that you love from the distance. I'm gonna figure out how to word it
Mhm.
really well, but it's there.
Yeah. What that's what one of the things I learned about failure is that failure is not a discouraging thing. It's a rerouting.
Yes,
Because failure teaches you this this plan didn't go the way you wanted it to because you didn't have this with it. Or I was like, that's why you always have to have plan A, B, C, all the way to Z, so you can figure out which plan um, will get you to your goal in a better route. That's why I always like you have to fail in order to succeed. You know what I
right.
mean? Because also
Well,
failure,
if you're not
but
failing, you probably didn't even make an attempt.
that too, yeah, that too. If you're not failing, you're not attempting at all. I was like, because I'm like, if you're not failing, I feel like you're just being lazy or you're just being scared to
It's
do it.
fear. It's a lot of people who will say they're perfectionists and then but there's really
Yeah,
just a level of fear, and it's
yeah,
like you don't want to
yeah.
judge you, but like there's a lot of I like to read rhetoric around
Mhm,
self-love and just not caring about what others think, and
mhm,
especially when if you're gonna choose a medium that is pretty much judged by others to
mhm,
decide if you're good or not, you pretty much have to say fuck that. Like, I know I'm good at what I'm doing. I gotta put
mhm,
it out there, and there's gonna be times where yes and no, like people are gonna like it or they're not, but like things that are good, you got to find your audience at the end of the day. And of course, like
mhm.
there's a lot of people who will sit here and argue and tell you that Eminem's not that good of a rapper, and there's gonna be someone who's the greatest of all time. Someone's gonna say Jay-Z's not that good of a rapper. They're gonna say he's the best of all time. They're gonna say this person's not that good at this and not that good at that. The other person gonna say there's a GOAT. Like, it just is what it is. It's all opinion. But when it
Yep.
comes to you being the person that's putting things out in the world, you have to have a confidence in yourself, and that's all you can, like, that's you got to have that confidence in yourself to know, like, I'm about to walk down this aisle and everybody throwing eggs at me.
Yeah.
They can throw it all day, but I know who I am.
Mhm. You have to
Shit,
have
they,
thick
they can't even
skin.
they can't even hit me, and I'm moving at my own pace.
Facts. I
We're
was like,
trying.
you have to have thick skin in any type of industry. because there's always gonna be snakes that's gonna try to tear you down. But you have to go that thick skin if especially if you're serious about this. You're gonna
Yeah.
you got to go that thick skin. Especially no one's is above criticism, but there's a difference between criticism and just straight up hatred. If it's
Yeah, that's
constructive criticism and feedback that's trying to help you, that's
yeah.
cool. But if it's straight up hatred, like this is trash, and so if they just flat out call you trash without giving like proper feedback, don't listen to that type of audience because they're just bitter because you're doing something they can't do. That's how I
Well,
take it.
I say there's only two times really for someone to be critiquing what you do anyway. That's one if
Mhm.
you ask them,
Yep,
and two if they're like part of your team. So like that's their
yep,
job to critique.
yep.
That's the only two times that it's like why do you have something negative to say about what I'm doing? I guess the
Yep.
third time I would say the third one would be if it's hurting that person. But we're just
Mm.
talking about art right now.
Yeah.
But even then, like, art's subjective. So that third was kind of shaky. I definitely feel like the first two things, like you shouldn't
Yeah.
be giving me your opinion if I didn't ask, and I shouldn't be giving you my opinion if you didn't ask. If
Mhm.
I'm not on your team.
Yeah.
If I'm on
Yeah.
your team, that's why you probably hired me to do that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I think that friends sometimes that's another level too. I'm just thinking of different things too. But like, as a friend, like I wouldn't necessarily be critiquing my friends or my friends be critiquing me, but like more just like it's not, and I guess I keep trying to go outside the art world. In the art world, I gotta stick to that. The art world. Those are the two things. Everything else, like in a regular life, like yeah, your friends should let you know when you on your bullshit. Like yo, you tweaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your friends should do that. Your parents should do
Yeah.
that, even when it's
Oh
not
yeah.
asked, just because they love you. But
Oh yeah.
when it comes to art, I don't. It had to really be hurting people for someone else to need to say something about it that wasn't asked. But that doesn't matter in our world because opinions is what keeps us going. People's
Mhm.
opinions is what makes things get bigger, whether it's good or bad. And shit, if it's indifferent, it's gonna get even bigger. The more
Oh
split it
yeah.
is, the bigger it gets.
The
It's
bigger it
really,
gets. Yep.
and you look at Taylor Swift. There's so many people that say that she can't sing, and there's so many people that say like her new album is not gonna be that. It's not that great because she's not heartbroken and this and that. And there's gonna people are gonna say that, but like her numbers are still her numbers. People
Yep.
are still going to
You can't
listen.
take that away from her.
Can't take it away from her, and like you know what I mean. It's just I just feel like there's just so many levels of all this, but like I guess when you put it out, when you do put it out, I think it's cool to if me and you if our job is to critique, that makes sense.
Mhm.
If you come and ask me what do I feel about this, that's when I'm thinking about it. But it's kind of weird. I don't know. I just think it's weird sometimes. The first thing that people think of is negativity. Like their brains go to like, "Yo, did you hear that fucking new blah blah blah? That shit sucked." Like that's how they start the conversation. And to
Literally.
me, it's like, why is
Oh.
your energy like that? Like I guess I'm just not like that. So sometimes I get so biased in myself with that part of myself that I just don't
Mhm.
get it in others. I don't get when people hate on other people for what they do. Like, you know what I mean? I don't get that. Like if you making
Yeah.
movies, do your shit. Like, go crazy. Like, it don't affect me. Your success does not hurt mine.
That's not what's like
So
us like literally when I'm like reading comments on people like celebrities post like The Rock, people stay hating on The Rock, talking about he on steroids or um that he plays the same type of role or whatever and say that he's a liar or something. And I'm just like, do you know him personally? I was
yeah, I
like,
try not to even have
are you in the boardroom with him when he's doing these stuff?
I try not to
I
have
was like,
like I try because it's so easy to fall into sometimes, but I try hard not to have conversations about celebrities in a sense of like who they are as a person.
mhm.
You could talk about their art and like I said, like if you guys are having a conversation, like, oh, I just heard this new shit, I love this shit, like this is my shit, like
Yeah,
blah
I was like, you
blah.
can criticize his movies all you want, but if you try to defame his
I just don't
character,
know these
like,
people,
what
like I
the
try
heck?
my hardest, like, yeah, no, that's how shit, she was thinking like this. Was she? Were you there?
You're right. It's
I don't know.
like,
I try. I'm just. Like I try. These are things that I make sure I'm trying to focus on. Because
mm,
I really have strong thoughts on them, and so when I slip up as a human would do, I'm like, damn, like why am I letting this fall? Because it's like it's low vibrational vibes. It's
mm,
just low frequency. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I try not to do that, but I am human, and sometimes I do fall into low frequency shit.
mm. Like
It
we,
just
I
is
mean,
what it
we're
is.
all. It's just called being human. We do that all the time.
Yeah, as long as that's just not
So,
who as long as your frequency is
yeah,
not actually low.
yeah, that part. Yeah, that
You
part.
feel me? Like sometimes you do
Yeah.
low frequency shit, but you don't
Oh yeah.
be a low frequency person. I think it's like the idea of like he's a good guy, he just made a mistake, versus like he's a bad person. Like that's just a bad person. Like I wouldn't trust
Yeah.
anything around that person. I wouldn't want to be around their energy. So like
Mm.
two different people.
Two different people, man. Man. And I want to ask you, like, with your music, like, how is your creative process with your music? Like, do you just instantly know what you want to do for the certain song, or is there what's your inspiration behind your music that gets you into the mood and like want to make your own beats and lyrics and stuff?
So I don't make beats necessarily, but I do make.
Okay.
So I've been in spaces a lot of time when I first started making music. I was around my friend EJ, and he was making beats. Once we started really recording, he was making beats and he was recording. So I was around that so much. But when it comes to like writing,
Hmm.
there's levels. Like there's sometimes where I just like get random trains of thought. Like I'm like, I gotta
Hmm.
write that down. Little random stream of thought. I gotta write that down. Or like I just get these things just rhyming in my head and like I gotta write that down. Or I have a beat in front of me and I'm like, you know what this feels like? This is how it feels, and I express it in words. Or sometimes like the process is different. So sometimes my producer might send a beat and it's called, like it's called Kevin Davis, right? And I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, like, okay, I know what that is. Like, what's the vibes
Hmm.
to that? And
Yeah.
so that's I'm gonna call the song Kevin Davis, and I'm gonna give him my thoughts on that, and then we basically having our own dance there, like our own choreography, because he gave me what he felt, I gave
Hmm.
what I felt, and then it's gonna come into a tangent together, and it's gonna be vibes. So
Yeah.
whether other people think they're vibes, that's another statement. But but I feel like number one, if the producer fucks with it, like the beat maker fucks with it, and I fuck with it, like that's already good enough because I've likely got to express myself through words, and he or she got to express themselves through um the beat making process. So
Man. Cause I'm like I've always been fascinated with music because I know you can storytell in any type of music.
yeah.
And how do you do your storytelling in music to express yourself? Um, Especially if you're dealing with mental health. Like how do you tell your story through your music?
I try to be as honest as I can be. I think everything that I talk about, I've either done or I would do.
Mm,
Mostly stuff that I've like done, and when I say that, I say that in a sense of like, uh, man, I'm not a. Like, it's easier for me to be doing that because I'm not doing incriminating shit. You know what I mean? I'm
mm.
not out here killing
Yeah,
people
yeah.
and doing. So it's easier for me to just be myself in music to say like, like I can talk about fun party stuff because I party and I'll have this going on and we do that. And not everything makes it to wax because some things just you don't need to be saying on music, in my opinion.
Hmm. I
But
got you.
because once again, you don't want to like get yourself in some type of trouble either by like, oh
Mm,
shit, like whatever. Like I've heard people like rap about. I'm trying to think of something in the party scene that would be bad. Like, somebody rapping about like drinking and driving. And like they're making
mm.
a joke about it and they're doing it. Like I wouldn't do that because,
Got you.
that's, whatever. But um so I just try to be as honest as I can in the music that I create. And when it comes to like the actual formula of writing a story, it's easier when you can visualize like what happened that night or like how has a night gone, so I can tell that story in rhyme, and then just be metaphorical, throw some wordplay in there, just have fun with it. And so that's how I'm able to like tell my story and be a storyteller.
Man, I freaking loved it, dude. Um, we're coming to the time, but first, congratulations again on the agency.
Thank you,
You're gonna
thank you.
kill it. I pay attention to your posts. I know your vibe. You're gonna kill the hell out of that, man.
I
I can't wait.
appreciate
I can't wait to see you at the Oscars someday when
it.
you get there, bro.
Hey,
I'm
whatever
rooting
whatever
for you.
God has intended, man, I'm gonna do.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm rooting for you. Honestly, what we've been friends on Facebook, Instagram for like what 2 years now, maybe I think. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, and we've had some conversations of trying to figure out how to do things, but
Yeah,
that's
I was like, what time?
timing is everything. This is a
Yeah.
great time to start.
Oh yeah. And reading your posts, it really inspired me because every day I see your drive, I see your passion, and I was so glad that you reached out to me that you wanted to be on my show. So thank you for coming on, expressing your story, dude. Can you tell us where we can find you so we can follow your journey? What socials you're on, where we can find your music and everything,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, for sure. Once again, like, what I'm saying, appreciate you for having me, and timing is everything. I go by the name Shy Songwriter, that's CHI Songwriter. You can see it on the screen. Uh, Everything, Instagram, any social media, or when it comes to streaming platforms, you can find that name. Uh, like he knows me as Casper Alexander, but either way, you can find me Shy Songwriters where you go find everything at. So yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And I'm Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis official. Facebook, I am Kevin Davis CEO. And even on TikTok is Kevysie Studios. Um, but this has been a new episode of Kevin New Bridge, and we'll see you guys later.